G'day guys, I thought before the season starts, it'd be a good time to show Clarky some love. Just this week, he broke this emotional story, which shows the caring side of our players that the mainstream journos would never ever take the time to give any exposure. Especially not young female journalists by the name of Brittany Chain. Now I know what you're thinking, that's strangely specific. And you're right, I didn't just pluck that off the top of my head, because it was Brittany, who writes for the Daily Mail, who put in the work to get this story. And Clarky has taken the contents of her work, and even the pic used in the article, for his Instagram account. Now, he portrays himself as some kind of journalist of sorts, which is all good. I really like fan-made content away from the mainstream media. But here, he's given no credit to the original source of the story when he's taken all their work to get all these clickety-clicks on his social media. And it's not the first time either. Little side note about the clickbait on the page, this one about the Tigers training standards was fun. Remove enough context to make it sound dramatic, but don't dive into it, eh? Just stick the boot into their fans for more of those clicks. There's so much that could be talked about, from coaching and player instability over the last 10 years to Madge becoming this awesome foundation for the club. But that takes work. A quick Insta-pic and a headline is much easier to get those clicks. Anyway, back to Brittany and her story. He could have easily mentioned where it came from and helped promote a journalist who was willing to write positive stories about the game. Since after all, that's one of our biggest complaints as fans, that the media is constantly dragging the reputation of the clubs and players through the mud. Even Clarky himself has had to go at the media at times. A little journalistic integrity goes a long way. From here, stemmed what I find to be an even bigger issue. What really gets my goat, and no, you can't keep it, it's mine, is people misusing mental health issues in online discussion. He said to his rather large audience that online trolls had basically given him a hard time and he needed a break from social media. Yet the funny part of it is that the comments were mostly from the NRL Reddit, which he isn't even a part of. To see the hate, he had to go lurking in an online community which he himself insulted 12 months earlier.
While they're still sitting there on Reddit just being salty bitches, so...
He then proceeded to use content generated on the page before trying to apologise for the original insult, which didn't go down too well. A troll is someone who comes after you and harasses you, not a group of people minding their own business within their own little corner of the internet who you have a history of hate with. Like me being diagnosed with anxiety and depression, and then holding it against everyone else, that I suck at social interaction. You know these people hate you, and you contributed to it. So either accept it's going to be negative, or stay away. You don't get to cry to your fan base that you were bullied and are suffering. It's that act of manipulating your audience with half-truths, and not actually calling out the people whose comments you used, make you the bad guy. Funny though, in displaying those Reddit comments, some convenient ones were left out, like the one explaining he stole content. Then, when the people whose content it was mentioned he didn't have permission, he abused them. Or, missing how my own comment, which got used by Clarky himself, was called out as being over the top, and I agreed. I just don't delete comments generally because I like my mistakes being out there for everyone to see. I did PM him on Insta and have a bit of a go, because that's sneaky as hell to use your audience like that. There was a bit of back and forward, with at one point he said about showing my true colours to everyone. Which is fine. He goes, I'm short, bald, have severe depression and anxiety to the point I get paranoid about social interactions and mess things up regularly. And because of that, I assume nobody likes me. And worst of all, this year, I tipped Tigers for 8th. And because of that, you can't take away the public approval that I don't have.
Here, tell these people something they don't know about me.
Burn the circus down, cause the world is full of clowns. They're all stupid and they're proud, painted smiles on their mouths. I don't hang with bozos, homie, I can't be around you. Anyone who knows me knows my feet don't fit in clowns.